Well, I said we were going to cover all of our loose ends in regards to the Vancouver Canucks today, so that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to talk about injuries, we're going to talk about what's new, and we're going to talk about whom it is might be the next target of the Vancouver Canucks. Let's leave this conversation till the end of the video, though, and start things out by talking about Dan Murphy. Because earlier this morning, he went out there and tweeted this: "To much panic from Vancouver Canucks fans, unless my eyes deceive me. No Quinn Hughes or Drew O'Connor on the ice for Canucks skate at Hurricanes practice facility." Again, this was about 4 hours ago. The first line, you've got Evander Kane with Elias Pettersson and Connor Garland. You then have Lucas Reichel, Brock Besser, and Kiefer Sherwood. Aatu Ratu is skating alongside of Jake DeBrusk, and who the hell is 20? Who's 20 on the Vancouver Canucks? Oh boy, I am an idiot. Let's go to Canucks.com. 2020. Mackenzie McEachern. No wonder I didn't recognize that. Okay. Yeah, Mackenzie McEachern is out there on a line with Aatu Ratu and Jake DeBrusk. Then you have the Abbey boys, Sasson, Baines, and Linus Karlsson. D pairings go as follows. You have Marcus Petey with Tyler Myers, Tom Wielander with Elias Pettersson, Phil Hronek with P.O. Joseph, and number 90. That is the big ol' Victor Mancini actually suiting up in practice. Tom goes out there and says, only the worst beat writers tweet out just the jersey numbers. How lazy. Turns out Dan Murphy, though, he ain't a beat writer, so he can get a pass here for now. Yeah, no, that's my fault. I didn't know Mackenzie McEachern's number, 20. But Murph does go out there and confirm no Quinn Hughes, no Drew O'Connor in today's practice. And the update is Hughes is day-to-day. Status for tomorrow night is to be announced. Drew O'Connor needed a sick day. So we'll see whether or not Drew O'Connor is ready to be able to play tomorrow against the Carolina Hurricanes. Quinn Hughes, I'm just going to say it, man. If this guy needs more time off, why in the world are the Vancouver Canucks going to push him? Like, this guy already may or may not have had his shoulder dislocated in that last game against the Winnipeg Jets. He came back. He got 3 assists on the night. Fantastic showing out of a guy who played 28 minutes. But he had to miss some time. He had 28 minutes even though he got taken out of the game by Mark Scheifele on a play where he got the penalty. Like, this guy has gone through so much, and even though he can produce, even though he is good, I do question whether or not it's even the right move to have him available for tomorrow. Obviously, I ain't no doctor, but if they're already thinking, hey, we don't know if you're going to be able to play tomorrow, Quinn, odds are there's something bugging this guy that may or may not have been incited by Mark Scheifele and the play into the boards from a few nights ago. Also, I'm just saying that because my opponent this week in fantasy has Quinn Hughes. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. But still, if the guy needs time to rest him. Please don't force him to play against Carolina. It's like a double-edged sword because if Quinn Hughes doesn't play, then the team has a much worse chance of winning, which will lead to them falling in the standings more, which will lead to them missing the playoffs, which will lead to Quinn Hughes wanting to leave even more. But if he does play, he could get hurt. So I don't, what is going on here, man? Vancouver hockey is in a really tough spot. Drew O'Connor, we can say what you want about him, but hey, this guy was on fire the past few games. He's been scoring, he's been assisting, he's been good. So if he is absent from the lineup, assuming the sick day extends beyond just today, then that, of course, will be a pretty bad loss for Vancouver. Now, for those that are wondering, there are some positive ways to spin the Hughes status. This is what Josh Elliott Wolf went out there and said. Despite being someone who loves to overreact, I would assume if Phil Hronek is skating with P.O. Joseph, that likely means Joseph is a placeholder for a Hughes day off. I would be more worried if Hronek was with MP3, Marcus Petey. And that makes sense. Is MP the new pairing name for Pettersson and Myers? I feel like Lanky is a more apt name for that pairing, but the Kevin Lankinen of it all complicates things. Yeah, okay, we're not going to try to get into names of pairings right now, but it is a pretty good point. If Hronek was going to go skate with Marcus Petey, then it might actually indicate game projectability for that line. But hey, instead he's with P.O. Joseph, who is easily replaceable, so maybe Quinn Hughes is going to be fine for tomorrow. Who knows? I mean, they did say day-to-day to be announced. If he needs to rest, though, that's fine. Just get Mancini back in there, have him play with Phil Hronek. They played the same anyways. Let's go out there. Okay, no, never mind. Mancini's a righty. Let's go out there and talk about the big name on the block. And he's not on the block here in Vancouver. He's actually on the block in Toronto. Let's talk today about David Kampf, a 30-year-old, 6'2", 198, forward, left-handed, a guy who can play center, and whose contract sees him making $2.4 million a year till the end of 2027. This is a 4-year deal that is actually going to get terminated later tomorrow, because David Kampf, after scoring 13 points in 59 Toronto Maple Leafs games last year, was sent down to the AHL's Toronto Marlies. He had 1 point in 4 games, but the problem is the Czech forward just did not want to be there. He absolutely was not in a spot to appreciate and open the AHL opportunity for himself, which is why we had ourselves the update here. On unconditional waivers for mutual contract termination, David Kampf is walking away from about $3 million remaining dollars. The Leafs did not claw back any of his $1.325 million signing bonus paid already, and they have no cap consequences. He'll be a UFA tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, the question is, when on waivers for contract termination, can teams still claim you? Yes, the player is on waivers, he can be claimed, but it's not smart though, because once he hits UFA status, they can sign him for less. Now, which teams are going to go out there and try to sign David Kampf? Well, this is what Rick Dhaliwal said on Donnie and Dolly. I've been told the Canucks will definitely be in on Kampf. I can confirm they will be in on him. Satyr Shah went out there and said, Kampf on over to Vancouver, they can use all the help they can get down the middle. If he wants to rebuild his value and make up the money he's left on the table, the Canucks can offer the biggest role for him right away. Think what a Kiefer Sherwood has done to his value right now, or a Pia Suter over the past few years, or Dakota Joshua. Kampf is not like those guys. I'd say that Kampf is a step below most of them, but this is a guy who has been on the odd, rough side of not really doing too much in Toronto the past few years. He's always been the same guy in Toronto, which is why the contract that he's got is so cheap. Still, though, he's walking away from all this extra money because he wants an NHL opportunity. He wants to be given a shot, he wants to be given a role, and Vancouver can't do that. They can say, hey, Lucas Reichel's not cutting it for us on center, we need another guy. Kampf, can you be our guy? I just don't really know if he really moves the needle. Like, yeah, Pia Suter was a very versatile middle six, potentially even top six caliber option that played first-line center and excelled at it. Can Kampf do that? I don't think so. I really, really don't. I'm so pessimistic on David Kampf in comparison to what Pia Suter was able to do. So, for Toronto, yeah, they're going to get rid of this guy. He wants to test the market. Seems like Vancouver is going to be in on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether or not you think this is actually a good idea for the Canucks. Also, what are your thoughts on the Quinn Hughes injury and Drew O'Connor sick day? How does this change how you view tomorrow's game against the Carolina Hurricanes? Let me know in the comment section all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.